General Grievous was one of the true terrors of the Clone Wars conflict, created by the Dark Lords of the Sith Tyrannus and Sidious to specifically intimidate and kill Jedi. Grievous was formerly a Kaleesh warrior that was augmented by the power of the Separatist droid army, and became the droid general and commander of the droid army over the Clone Wars conflict, being proclaimed by both the Republic as well as the Separatists as one of the most deadly warriors the Clone Wars had bred, and being deemed one of the greatest and most effective and proficient Jedi killers in history, perhaps simply outmatched by the great Lord Vader. For today's topic, we will explore the first time the Jedi ever encountered General Grievous, and how he butchered a group of Jedi on Geonosis and Hypori, and the details of that battle. You've no idea what you've brought upon yourselves. I've mastered your weapon, and combined that skill with the speed only a machine is capable of. How can any living being stand against me? Grievous was first let loose in the Geonosian catacombs during the Battle of Geonosis 22 years before the Battle of Yavin, where he safeguarded the Separatist Council from Jedi and clone trooper companies during the ensuing battle. He left none alive to tell of his existence. Dooku, impressed with the general's performance at Geonosis, trained Grievous in the art of lightsaber combat, which Grievous took a rapid pace to, learning all the 7 classic forms of Jedi arts, including the rarely seen Makashi and Juyo. Grievous quickly surpassed all of the other apprentices of Dooku in terms of individual combat. Despite his obvious prowess with the weapon and the time and resources expended to creating him, Dooku still viewed him as a second to the Chiss General Ser Varance Tan. It was only after Tan's death 1 month after Geonosis that Grievous truly began to come into his own as a general in the Separatist army. It was the main gripe of Grievous, however, that Dooku had decided to hold him back, deciding to reveal Grievous at a very strategic moment rather than right away, in hopes that even the simple appearance of Grievous would crush the spirits of the Jedi that encountered him initially. Grievous's first public appearance against the Republic and the Jedi Order was at the Battle of Hypori, 4 months after the Battle of Geonosis. Grievous had led a massive detachment of battle droids to attack the Jedi on Hypori, and his tactics resulted in the obliteration of an entire Republic task force, despite Grievous never activating his lightsabers yet. First though, the Jedi cut down Jedi Master Dokman Barrick as he attempted to request reinforcements from the Jedi Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, who were fighting on a nearby planet with 6 other Jedi. Grievous managed to trap 6 Jedi of his own inside a small structure, including Jedi High Council members Ki-Adi-Mundi and Shaak Ti. Grievous ordered his B-2 Super Battle Droid troops to stand down, effectively surrounding the Jedi. The general addressed the trapped Jedi, stating that he would grant them a warrior's death, and lying in wait for them to move. Once Padawan Gi ran screaming into the unprotected open, Grievous jumped on him and killed him instantly. The general then perched himself on the top of the transport and hung from its point, surveying the 5 remaining Jedi Knights before landing below and engaging them in active combat, unleashing vicious dual lightsaber attacks on his adversaries. Grievous first targeted Ki-Adi-Mundi, advancing towards his opponent with the other Jedi in pursuit of their engagement. Although Ki-Adi managed to evade the general's powerful downward slashes and released a force push at him, Grievous evaded the blast and jumped onto a nearby wall, propelling himself at the Knights and blasting them aside upon impact. Grievous slashed down the attacking Jedi Master Kakruk and then threw rubble at Shaak Ti, picking up the advancing Sierra by the head with one of his mechanical feet and slammed him to the ground face first. He then grabbed Aayla Secura as well, throwing both Sierra and Secura up against the top of a transport remains above. General Grievous would then display one of his most impressive feats over the entirety of the Clone Wars, as he dueled not 1 but 2 Jedi High Council members in Ki-Adi-Mundi and Shaak Ti at the same time. Grievous managed to counter their attacks and eventually kicked Mundi against a nearby pile of rubble. Unfazed, the cyborg general advanced at Shaak Ti. Shaak Ti desperately tried to defend herself, but was unable to escape his onslaught. Grievous quickly overwhelmed her, knocking her lightsaber out of her hand, and kicked her hard against a pile of debris. A recovered Mundi attempted to retrieve his lightsaber with the Force, only to have Grievous trap the weapon beneath one of his clawed feet, and pick it up for himself using his clawed foot. With Grievous in possession of 3 lightsabers, 1 in each hand, and the third he wielded using his left foot. Mundi stole one of the lightsabers secured at his waist, and Grievous jumped at Mundi, lightsabers blazing. As Grievous fought Mundi, an advanced recon commando clone trooper squad led by Captain Fordo arrived in an LAAT gunship to rescue the Jedi. While several clones followed the life signs of the surviving Jedi, Fordo led another troop to rescue Mundi just as Grievous was preparing to kill the disarmed Jedi Master. In order to swiftly save the Jedi, the ARC troopers opened fire on Grievous, who evaded the blasts, running across the roof of the compound. Grievous then swiftly landed on the ground, cutting through several elite clone troopers. Fordo then brought in the gunship, and Grievous quickly ran from the craft's laser fire and rockets. While Mundi and the ARC troopers escaped with Sakura and T under treatment from recover from the devastating battle, Grievous stole the fallen Kakruk's lightsaber and added it to his collection. Grievous watched the Republic gunship flee from Hypori, taunting the Jedi and stating that they had only prolonged the inevitable. After the battle, Grievous was given the grueling monogram from Jedi Master Plo Koon, the Butcher of Hypori. 6 months after the Battle of Geonosis, Grievous led an assault on the outer rim planet of Nadiem. His armies were able to secure a strong foothold on the world before a Republic detachment, led by Luminara Unduli and Saci Tin, arrived to stop the Separatist advance. Grievous ordered the movements of the Separatist army from a base far from the front, and though Tin and the Republic fleet defeated his air support, Grievous made significant gains. Grievous sent his forward armies through a strategic canyon to attack the Republic's main army, where they were unfortunately ambushed by the clone troopers and Barriss Offee, Luminara Unduli's Padawan. Though the droids appeared to have defeated the clones, they were only pretending to be dead, and attacked the army from behind when it engaged Unduli's forces at the other end of the canyon. Grievous's forces were outmaneuvered and destroyed, leaving Grievous to abandon the battle in his personal starfighter. The Jedi Master Tone and his apprentice attempted to stop Grievous, but Tone was wounded and his apprentice was killed by the general. Not long after this, Count Dooku tested Grievous by pitting him against fellow Separatist commanders Asajj Ventress and Dirge aboard Count Dooku's space station. After both Ventress and Dirge had been lured onto the station, Grievous snuck up on Dirge, shocking him from behind with an electro staff, and then throwing him across the room. He then managed to heavily defeat Asajj Ventress as well. Impressed with Grievous, Dooku dispatched Grievous to the icy world of Ando Prime in order to investigate the disappearance of a battle droid army, which had vanished alongside the 313th Legion. The cyborg general and his droid squad of 12 were initially unable to locate the unit and reported back to the Separatist head of state, who ordered Grievous to keep searching, as a loss of this magnitude was unaffordable for the Separatists. As the general continued to search for the vanished droid army, he was ambushed by the Republic unit Excelsior Company, who was also there to investigate the disappearance of the Republic forces. Led by Clone Commander Vargas, the clone trooper detached to eliminate Grievous's droids and force the cyborg to flee the planet. But that is how General Grievous spent the first 6 months during the Clone Wars conflict, as again Dooku did not want to reveal the droid general until the moment was crucial, with the Battle of Hypori going down in history, as it finally revealed Grievous to the Jedi, and shook them to their core, revealing that a Sith Lord had constructed such a monstrosity, a cyborg capable of defeating a Jedi in active lightsaber combat, something that was unheard of until this point in time. Not to mention the fact that Grievous managed to kill several Jedi in the catacombs of Geonosis, as again General Grievous was hiding just below the arena that we saw in Attack of the Clones, as the Clone Wars began for the very first time. But what are your guys' thoughts on this, and the fact that General Grievous managed to shake the hearts of the Jedi during this engagement? Had you heard of the story of Hypori before this video, and the first 6 months of General Grievous's reign during the Clone Wars conflict? Just as a reminder, there's a big sale on the Star Wars merch page where you can get stuff up to half off to celebrate the Christmas season. So if you have an idea and you want to get someone a Star Wars shirt or a sweater for Christmas, this is an excellent site to use. Anyway, my friends, I appreciate your continued support on these longer form videos, and be sure to leave a like and suggest more stories for me to tell in the comments down below. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.